It's Tuesday night. You're watching Trenny and C Beer Reviews.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Trenny. This is C. For those of you who do not know, we've got we're gonna do a comparo video today with two Mexican beers. We have Sol on the left and Dos Equis on the right. So Dos Equis means two X's. That's why we two X's.
Yeah, I think they got that.
Yeah. Okay. And maybe do we need to do up close beer cracking? Probably not.
No.
Who cares?
I can't do it properly anyway. It just makes me look embarrassing when I...
Yeah, that's true. Oh, nice. So, those of you who have been to Mexico, like we are up here in Canada, and it's a pretty, hot destination spot that people go to every year. These are the beers that you find everywhere there. You got your Sol, you got your Dos Equis, you got your Corona, your
Ducati.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing I was just saying before we started filming this video is you can drink a ton of these when you're in Mexico because it's hot out. It's, you're sweaty. You're hopefully walking around and doing something.
They're a little bit lower alcohol percentage,
I think
too.
they're both 4.5%.
These are both 4.5, yeah. And they're just very refreshing, and just the drinkability factor is like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like, these go down, in some cases, like water.
Some of them are better than the water.
Yeah.
So, and I gotta say too, though, having said that,
Right.
This year while I was in Mexico, I got so sick of the beer.
Oh,
like
really?
it's drinkable like water. At the same time, you want a little bit more flavor.
So you were there for how long?
2 weeks.
And were you trying different brands, or were you...
Yes.
Okay, so you kind of rotated between the main brands.
The main brands, and I actually think it came down to liking Dos Equis the best, actually.
Really? Even with the big C on the...
Oh, well, because...
mix?
So the other thing with the Corona in Mexico is some of them are like Corona Light...
Okay,
or Corona Extra Light, like they're like 3.2% alcohol, or just regular Corona, and
why bother?
So you would order a Corona and you don't know necessarily which one you're going to get.
It's like whatever they have left.
I remember we went to the beach and we didn't bring water, but we brought the Corona Extra Light because we by mistake bought it, and it hydrated us for the day, So, anyways, let's get straight to the point here. We've got the Sol on the left and the Dos Equis on the right. Let's start with the Sol.
Yeah, Sol it up. Here we go.
So on color, they're both very similar. Might be a little darker with the Sol.
Maybe ever so slightly.
Anyways, both very light beers. That's actually not that bad. That's not that bad at all.
A mild sweetness to it.
Mild sweetness, kind of like that honey sort of sweetness to it. It definitely tastes like it would be really good with like a salted rim or something. Like how they do beer
like
garita.
Like when you've got the bulldog where you've got the beer stuffed into the margarita there.
Like that would be a good combo.
They do work very complementary.
Mm-hmm. And so sometimes these really, really light beers, salting the rim on your glass, actually taste pretty damn good.
A little bit of carbonation there, a little bit of bubbliness, and it's got an overall, it's a pleasant flavor on the Sol there.
Yeah,
it's
definitely. Okay, let's move on to the double X's. Oh, I'm hiccuping.
Dos Equis is a little bit more bold,
It's
a little more carbonation too, I find.
It's more carbonated, but I don't know if it's
It's not as sweet, and it has a little bit
it's
more
watery, I find.
I don't know. I feel like it has a little more character to it.
I don't know. I'm finding the opposite. At first, because I thought I really liked the Dos Equis, but the Sol as a side by side is a little bit more effervescent and a little bit more. I don't know if I could drink a lot of them. Well, you can drink tons of them, I guess, but
I couldn't drink more than 12 or 14 of them.
I could probably drink 12 of these and maybe 14 of these. That's
Okay, so where are you at right now? Preference.
I think actually the amount of carbonation in the Sol I'm not as big of a fan of.
You think there's more carbonation in the Sol?
Yeah.
I felt like there was more in the Dos Equis. We cannot agree on anything on
I
this
don't know.
video.
The carbonation in the Sol is like it's fizzy from the beginning to the end, where this one's kind of just at the end. That's just my opinion. Maybe my mouth is doing something different than yours right now.
This one's the Sol is a bit maltier.
Yeah, it has a little bit more of a rich mouthfeel.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a little more the viscosity's a little thicker.
I don't know, the Dos Equis seems to have more of like the zestiness to it to me.
It does. It definitely does. It's almost it reminds me, and it's just, I guess it's more is it subjective or objective, but it reminds me of like when you're dipping fresh handmade tortilla chips into fresh salsa and you'd want to crush a Dos Equis with that. You know, eating tons of avocado and guacamole.
That all sounds delicious then. So that would...
So maybe
that would make me favor the Dos Equis.
Maybe I am leaning to that because it reminds me of those good flavors.
I think you just had a moment in Mexico that
probably, yeah,
you must have enjoyed with the Dos Equis. That's about that.
So the reality is I probably wouldn't buy either of these.
But you do not prefer either.
But when in Mexico, I think I'm gonna go with the Dos Equis.
Yeah, like nowadays, now that I'm an adult, I don't really buy Mexican beer. No. I don't even buy Coronas, which is so mass marketed and massively out there. Mm-hmm. Again, like we are into the more of the craft beers, and
we have so many around here.
And that's the thing, is that when you can try different things, unless you have one beer that is amazing, you're rarely going to return to it. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
I feel the same.
I'm very experimental with my beer. And then I rarely nail down one beer, and especially not a 4.5% Mexican beer right now. Like, I'm going to be in that like 7%.
Well, here in British Columbia, and specifically Vancouver Island, there's a different craft brewery on every block, it seems.
Yeah.
So
we're spoiled for it.
You may be able to drink one brewery. Mm-hmm. But there's still, like, each brewery has like 5 or 6 or 7 beers to choose from.
Yeah.
So even just within one brewery, there's so much variety.
So it makes it hard to return
to
this a bland kind of a beer like this. And not that we're, like snobby about it, but like you want your flavors.
Yeah. To give it credit, like these beers are designed for really hot weather.
It's a summer patio beach kind of beer.
And they're low percentage alcohol, which makes them, you can drink a couple more of them.
You can stay functional.
Yeah, yeah. So
a little bit longer.
They have their time and place, and they're, I think...
And it's not now with us.
This is true. But I think, these beers are designed similarly. They don't have a ton of character or different things going on, but they're easy to drink.
Yeah.
And... nice.
It's time and a place beer.
And I'm just going to say, I like the Dos Equis look and feel better. I'd like to drink the green glass.
And everybody likes the most interesting man in the world.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Anyway, I think we've been rambling on nonsensically for 10 plus minutes, so...
We basically haven't given you a single tasting note.
No.
But hey, that's what you get at Beer Reviews with Trenny and C. So thank you for sticking around. Click like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Let's get this shit viral. Not like the bad viral, like infectious or whatever, but...
Okay. Unlikely.
Yeah. Cheers.